Happy Camel Day to everyone. And this will be, yeah, a bit of a different type of video. This is about a little girl and her dreams, and how young is too young. This is about Jessica Dubroff. I found her story like some months back and definitely wanted to make sure to get, do a piece on her because it intrigued me. Like a little small Amelia Earhart in the making. And I never heard of her before because at the time this all happened, I was in Germany, Deutschland, Germany. Anyway. Probably most people have, who lived in the United States, heard of her. The little 7, almost 8-year-old girl who died way too young. Flying across to be the youngest one to fly. I guess many miles or across the, I don't know exactly. Being the youngest. And of being not quite 8 years old, I'm sure she had to be the youngest. Now, it all started when she was 6 years old. And her parents gave her, I guess for her birthday, they took her up flying, and she loved it ever since. And I don't doubt it. This was first of all, I have to say, my dad used to fly and got his pilot license all the way up to almost commercial. He could have easily gotten his commercial license. And he used to take me up all the time, just me and him, because my mom and my sister were too, they didn't really like going up high very often. But I loved it. And I could have easily been a Jessica or Amelia Earhart. There's always been a part of me that says, wouldn't that be cool someday to actually learn how to fly? And you're never too old anyway. Even if you're 100 and you can still go, hey, you can still do it. But they took her up in a plane when she was 6. And of course, you're speaking about a little girl who didn't ever have any toys. Is that because she didn't want toys, or because her parents didn't buy her toys? And this is not to beat her parents down either. I'm guessing they just didn't believe in those kinds of things. They wanted their kids out learning what life was all about. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. And they also didn't send them to school or anything else, so they had no socializing or anything. So, of course, something like a plane is probably going to excite her, right? And although her father, Lloyd Dubroff, I think I'm saying their name right, says that she's the one that pulled them and they didn't push her, I still wonder, in some ways, if they didn't sort of guide her along a little bit into that way, because they also sort of wanted to get themselves out there. I don't know. But how young is too young? Now, obviously, she wasn't flying the plane totally by herself. She had a trainer pilot up there who was flying the plane, I would hope and say, most of the time. And is the one that was flying the plane when it crashed, sadly enough, and killed Jessica, the pilot, and her father. It's just a sad story. It's a sad tale because she didn't get to grow up and, get out there. I mean, who knows what she would have wanted to do? Was she wanted to go on flying and become like another Amelia Earhart? Could she have done the things that Amelia Earhart always dreamed of doing? Maybe, we'll never know. Did she really, on her own, really want to fly this plane? And this isn't just about flying planes and everything. This is also about people when they push their kids a little bit too much. Now, whether or not it was in this, instance, I don't know. Did her parents push her out there a little bit? You know, even if it wasn't like a really, you know. In some ways, did she feel compelled? Maybe that was the only thing she thought was going to be in the excitement. But they also probably should have taken her to ballets and operas and zoos, and maybe they did. I don't know. If they wanted her to make up what her dream would be, she should have been able to do all these other things. You know, maybe she likes sports. Maybe she should have been in a kid's volleyball or girls' baseball, or there's so many things. At 6, 7 years old, how do you really know what you really want to do? I used to want to be a nurse a long time ago, and another time I wanted to be an astronaut. So who knows? At another time, a model and an actress. We change our minds so often, so who knows what she would have grown up and wanted to do. Maybe she would have wanted to still fly planes. You can't, I think, get an actual pilot license till you're like 16, 17 years old, so she was sort of way off, but she could have at least been having a hand or foot up by learning early. There's nothing against, I think, taking a child, you know, and teaching them how to fly locally, maybe. I think when they were doing the distance thing, and then they decided to go during storms and things like that, you know, not maybe so common sense. But I also know people who push their kids to get the best grades. Now, when I was in school, if I got a C or a B, I thought that was like wonderful. I knew someone, and I won't, you know, of course, mention names, but she got a B or even an A minus, she thought that her parents would be terribly disappointed in her. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll do better next time. It's like, really? I mean, wow, right? And even through college, she like was really sad when she got a B or a C, and you're like, wow. I would say don't pressure your kids. Let them be kids when they're kids. I would have liked it if Jessica would have had a doll or a puppet or at least a skateboard or something. You know what I mean? A jump rope. I mean, I at least hope they took them out and let them swing on the swings and do the merry-go-round and the slide. Please say she got to experience those things. Was she Amelia Earhart reincarnated? Possibly. Maybe she really was interested on that on her own. But, as parents, I still think they should have probably put her to many different things so she could have a whole pile of things to decide from. And if she still wanted to fly, then let her take flying lessons. But does she really need to be the youngest one traveling so far in a plane? Was that really her dream or her parents' dream? And sometimes you see these guys and women who wanted to be this or that, but they didn't. So they thought, well, now I have it through my child. That's just not right. Let them have their own dreams. Now, if on their own they wanted to be that football star or the ballet dancer or whatever, then they'll probably say that on their own. They'll like it on their own. And then that's a whole different story. Nothing wrong with talking about your dreams, as long as you're not doing it like a hand, you know, Jimmy, I want you to go out and be that football hero I was always too afraid to do or couldn't do, or Janice, I always wanted to be the prima ballerina or gymnast, or, you know, nothing wrong with being a prima ballerina. I always used to think, too bad I had not had ballet lessons when I was little. I say that now. Back then, I don't know, you know, if I would have liked it or not, but now I'm thinking, yeah. But if I had a daughter, would I have shoved her in it? No. Because that would have been her decision. She might have been the greatest prima ballerina in the world, but if she didn't really want it, she would still, even if she was the greatest prima ballerina in the world, it still wouldn't be the same, right? It still wouldn't be the same if her heart and passion was in it. She might have wanted just to, have fun with her friends and be happy being a waitress or convenience store clerk, and there's nothing wrong with those jobs either. So what I'm saying is, let your kids be kids. And I'm so sorry, Jessica, that you didn't get to live long enough to know if that was really your dream. And it probably was. And you probably would have, she would be grown up by now. I think she was born in 1988, so she would be about 34 now, or something like that. And she would probably be having, maybe she would have had kids, gotten married and had kids. Maybe she would have wanted to just go off and do her transatlantic flights and racing airplanes, or maybe she would have gotten into sports car racing. Who knows? Women can do that too, right? Isn't there a Danica, somebody out there that had done that? So, yeah. Anyway, let your kids have their dreams, and whilst they're deciding what their dreams really are, let them be kids. Let them have fun. Let them have friends. Let them have sleepovers. Let them have campouts. Let them play in the sprinkler in the summertime and run out to the ice cream truck when it jingles by, if that ever happens these days. That used to happen all the time when I was growing up. Go to amusement parks. Have fun. Skateboard. Whatever. Skin their knees. Climb on trees. You get the point. Anyway, I wish everyone a wonderful Camel Day, and as Amelia Earhart would say, and Jessica Dubroff, I think, over and